Welcome to Go with Kyle Harbaugh.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Go with Kyle Harbaugh. I'm Matt Skye. By combining traditional business methods with AI, Kyle helps law firms, financial advisors, and a variety of businesses thrive in a changing world to build personalized roadmaps to success. Kyle, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, Kyle, why is having a consistent and repeatable hiring process crucial for organizations?
Yeah, well, this is really, really important for service-based businesses because at some point you're going to transition as you grow. Initially, you will start as a service provider. You will be providing legal services or financial, advisory services. At some point, as you grow, you're going to hire staff. You're going to enhance your capabilities. You're going to be able to do more, get more done, but you're going to have to learn how to manage the talent that you're acquiring. You're going to have to incentivize them to stay, and making sure that you have a squared away hiring process is where all that starts. I see a lot of organizations fall apart because they have no hiring process. They do it this way one time, they do it that way another time. Sometimes they do this, they like that. They start doing that, but they don't do it consistently the same way. And everything starts at the hiring process. You have to get that right. That sets the tone for everything else downstream, for training the employee, for them staying long term. And how can you grow if you have high turnover of employees, if people hate working there? So it's really important to get that right.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, what is in an organization other than the employees themselves, right?
Definitely. Yeah, it's very, very important to get the right people in the right seats, to understand what makes them tick, how they work well with each other, how what's not going to work. So, having a good understanding of not just their skill sets, but their personal goals and their personality. Those are all really important. And then there's other things that are going to motivate them. Some of it's culture, some of it's benefits, some of it's development opportunities. So all of those, factor in.
So you have an offering, RightHire AI.
Sure.
Can you detail for us how that works and how it helps you make the right hire?
Yeah. So there's a lot of AI systems out there that source. What I mean by that is they look through the resumes. They say, I think this one might fit well. I think this one, could be a good one. This person has this skill set. But what RightHire does is something very, very different. It actually tells you who is the best person to hire. So the way I like to think about it, I worked at a law firm. They really liked 2 candidates, but they only had 1 seat. And how did they determine that? How did they determine who got hired? By flipping a coin. Because really, but they did.
Very high-tech solution.
I know. And, the person they hired wasn't a bad fit, but they didn't stay long-term. And they actually made a pivot about 6 months later, and they left. So, it's really important. I heard a stat recently that an associate attorney at a law firm of 40 attorneys, an average law firm of 40 attorneys, it costs that firm over $200,000 for an associate to leave. That's a big problem.
Wow, that's a big expense.
It is. And you think, $200,000, how is it that high? Well, workloads have to be reshifted. You have to go out and advertise again for the position. You have to take up other people's time on, hiring committee to, go through the candidates, interview them. You have to bring them in and train them. You spend all that other training time on the previous attorney. Maybe you sent them to some CLEs or other, education. So there's all sorts of hidden costs. Maybe they took some clients with them when they left. There's just so much there for you to lose money on. And so it's really important to have people who are aligned with the organization, who want to stay there long term. And how you find that out is with RightHire. Our RightHire system, it will look at personality, goals, skill set. And then on the company side, firm side, it'll look at benefits, culture, and development. And it looks at how all those things come together and who's actually going to be the best fit. It looks at their resume. It looks at their background check. It looks at their psychographic tests, their personality tests. It looks at your interview notes. It looks at whatever you can put into the system. And then it evaluates them on over 500 different metrics. So it looks at a ton of information, way more information then you could look at, and does it very, very quickly. And then it doesn't just stop at saying who's the right hire, who's the best fit for this role. It tells you how to train them. It tells you what what makes them tick. It tells you what motivates them and allows them to, it tells you what leadership potential they have and how they communicate best. So it tells you all this other stuff that you need to know to really manage them well. And if you do a good job there, you'll be able to keep them and retain them as employees, potentially move them up as your company grows.
But that's an important point. It's not just showing you where a prospective employee has been, it's showing you where they can go.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think a lot of companies, especially law firms, miss that. They think, well, I'm trying to just fill this role. Well, yeah, you are today, but your firm's going to be a much bigger size potentially in 5 years. And people don't want to be in a static role for the next 15, 20 years. They want to grow. They want additional authority, autonomy. They want new problems to solve. And if you can show them a growth track so that they can grow with the company, they're so much more likely to stay because they have a path forward and they can see it. It's been communicated. They know you're working on it and that their personal goals are important to you and that you want to see them grow and develop as well.
So Kyle, what inspired the development of RightHire AI?
Well, this is actually a framework that my business partner has been using since 2016. He was able to build several teams with it. He saw a lot of great success with it. We actually taught it to somebody who was a recruiter, and they won Recruiter of the Year. It's something that we know works. We've used it plenty of times, and now it's just automated into an AI system.
How does RightHire AI ensure fairness and reduce bias in hiring decisions?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. So RightHire, it works. It gives you data. It gives you hard data. It's not, well, I kind of like this person. They had a nice smile or, whatever your bias might be. And maybe you're like, oh, well, I'm not biased at all. Well, you might have an unconscious bias. You might be, biased in some way that you're not aware of. And so this allows you to have real data based on facts to make your decision for you. And that's very important. And that's something that will help you later on if, it's a risk management strategy as well. Somebody saying, well, you discriminated on me and you didn't choose me or you whatever the case may be. You can say, well, it wasn't actually just, my decision. I actually looked at this report and this report looked at all these different metrics and, recommended, this outcome. And yeah, that's what I based my decision on. It wasn't just, I liked your dress or whatever.
But how should, this is a really interesting point. How should hiring managers balance personal connection and vibe with what you're talking about, which is really more hard data?
Yeah, it's both. One of the things we look at is personality. And so we would recommend to our clients, note their personality. Do they feel warm? Do they make good eye contact? Things of that nature to really assess who they are as a person, because this isn't just some person who's going to sit in a corner and work with nobody. They're going to interface with other people. You want to grow your culture. You want them to contribute to the culture that you're trying to foster within your team. So it's important to look at the data, but also, there's a soft element. There's a personal element of it as well.
Can you share some success stories or any case studies you might have of companies that have used RightHire AI and how that improved their hiring outcomes and capacities?
Yeah. So one of the big things is just having a consistent process that actually looks at all the areas that you need to look at. This system allows you to do that because we ask for certain data. We're looking for particular tests and questionnaires to be filled out, and that way, every single one, the same things happen time and time again. We've been using it for our client right now who's hiring they're within tax services. And so we have identified, somebody who's a very good fit for them. We've also used it internally and seen really great success with it. We're very happy with the people we've hired. So, there's all sorts of different people who come, and sometimes they might really look good on paper, but if you dig a little deeper, you can, find something out that they're not really a good fit. I'll just tell a story. Like, you might have two people who have very good skill sets. It's the same skill set on paper. They have the same amount of experience. Yet, if you just ask the right questions, you'd find out, well, this person doesn't want to do this career long term. They're actually going to school to become a veterinarian, and they want to have nothing to do with this area. They don't want to be in your law firm long term. They're just doing it to pay the bills, and then they're going to do something completely different. And then you have the same person, and they love the law. They feel a strong connection to your practice area for whatever reason. Maybe it's a family law attorney, and they went through a divorce themselves, and they want to help clients with their divorce. They feel very connected to that practice area. And so it's really important to ask questions like that and dig a little deeper and look beyond just skill set.
In addition to hiring, your team developed an AI that analyzes businesses in 12 key ways, if I'm correct.
That is correct.
Can you elaborate on what those key areas are?
Yeah, so 12 key areas: clientele, messaging, networking, product, people, scale, service, operations, grip, safety, technology, and profitability. So very, very broad. We take a very holistic approach because businesses can struggle in all sorts of different ways. And if you don't know what's going on and what's contributing to your problems, you might not come up with a fix. So we wanted something that really looks deep and provides a ton of data very, very quickly. So usually these reports, they're about 40 to 50 pages. They're very, very detailed. They go into all of those areas, 3 or 4 pages on each one. And then there's a summary, there's a focus report. But the most important, exciting part about this tool is called Next Steps. And in Next Steps, it lays out your 5 largest opportunities for growth. It tells you what's going to move the needle the most, what you need to fix first, what you need to fix second, what you need to fix third, fourth, fifth, all the way down. It tells you what to do, how to do it, so you are empowered to focus and really make an impact to allow you to grow. It's something that's awesome. Some people, like one of my clients, they recently said, yeah, I had all these ideas swirling around in my head. It was like a nebulous cloud. I kind of had words to some of the ideas. Some of the other ideas, weren't really well defined. This brought it all into focus, put words to all my ideas, laid it out in an organized plan, and now I know exactly how to focus on my business. So it's something that we're seeing really effective results with.
And how does this kind of detailed analysis help create tailored plans for growth, for a variety of different organizations?
Yeah, so there's not a one-size-fits-all solution. That some people are struggling with particular issues, and that those particular issues are not an issue for somebody else. We want to provide lasting solutions, meaningful solutions to our clients. And so we wanted to come up with something that makes a very tailored, customized plan. And that's one of our guarantees is if you get your you get your Step AI plan, it will be customized to you. It will be tailored to your specific needs.
So in what way do you tailor this process for different organizations?
That's a great question. So everybody's problems are different. Some of the problems might be experienced later on down the road, and there's similarities. But what we have found is everybody's kind of on a different place in the mountain, and they want to grow. And how we get up the mountain, looks a little different depending on where we start. So we make sure every plan is tailored and that we're providing information that is relevant and specific to their issues that they're experiencing. That's why they're coming to us to solve a problem, and we want to provide them with not just Band-Aids and not just treating symptoms, but actually treating the root causes and all the other issues associated.
And Kyle, we touched on this a little bit, but what are some of the most significant benefits companies have experienced using RightHire AI and your broader business analysis AI?
Yeah, we're providing a ton of insight to law firm owners, business owners. The neat thing about Step AI is that it's allowing us to provide so much more information in a cost-effective manner. This type of analysis, it's been done. It's been done for a long time, but it's probably going to start at about $10,000. and about 100 hours of a consultant's time. It was actually something that my partner and I were offering and doing before by hand. And it was a really heavy lift. And so it only takes about 2 hours to fill out the questionnaire, and then a detailed interview with me, which takes about 30 to 60 minutes. And then we have all the information we need to run the report and provide you with an action plan that's detailed, that'll allow you to grow for the next 6 to 18 months. It'll tell you exactly what you need to work on, what you need to do, in what order, so that you can, get out of your current state and into something bigger and better.
If we had one final takeaway, we covered a lot of ground here. What would that be?
Take time to work on your business, not just in your business.
It's a great point to wrap up on. Everybody, you've been listening to Go with Kyle Harbaugh. Learn more about how to bring vision, mission, and values to your business at chiefgoofficers.com and on social media. Kyle, thanks for your time.
My pleasure, Matt. I'm really glad that we got to talk, and thank you to the audience for coming and listening.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.